Hey everybody, today we're going to run with purpose. Today's lesson is about the tax record. Wow, that's exciting, sexy, and what have you. You're going, what am I going to talk with the seller about the tax record? Now, when you're working with the buyer owner, an expired, or just any listing appointment, keep in mind, this is a first date if you're going on an initial walkthrough. I want to lower the expectations. You're rarely going to get a buyer owner or an expired on the first walkthrough. And if your expectations are that, you're going to be really disappointed. Then you have to deal with that I feel in my gut I'm disappointed. So it's like, all right, what if you made it a two-step process? So you go, well, how do I impress them enough on the first step? Do I talk about my company? Do I talk about my accomplishments, how I'm special, how I'm unique, how I'm an expert in the area? Well, that's what the agent did a minute ago who was there before you. And the agent coming in after you is going to say the same thing, that I have the answers, I'm the one. So if you've ever been on a first date and the other person, all they did was talk about themselves, how great they are, and there's not many times you get a second date, but what if your first date with the buyer owner was all about them? Now, there's a few different documents I'm going to recommend you bring to your pop-by appointment or your initial walkthrough that you set over the phone, whatever it is. One of the documents is simply called their tax record. You're going, what's so amazing about that? Well, there's really some pretty cool stuff on there that most people don't know. One of them is called the AVM. If you look at realist.com or in your MLS, and every property has an attachment, every property in the MLS has an attachment to a tax record. If you look on that tax record, one of the things you're going to see is called an AVM. Zillow has this estimate, the tax record has an AVM. So when you share with the seller, when you've taken the tour of the property, now you're sitting down, you want to verify a few different things with them. Remember, it's not about you. It's about you gaining information about the property and building rapport with them. So one of the things you're going to say, hey, you're asking $750. Now, usually these AVMs are wrong. This one only says $625. And I just wanted to point out to you because, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, some people are going to think this stuff is real. And if you saw your Zillow, I've got your printout here for Zillow as well, and it says your estimate is $525, whatever it says. So you're looking for anything you can have about them that you've discovered. And so one of the first things to look at is whether it's Redfin's AVM or Realtor.com's AVM. If you bring a hard copy and the seller can see that maybe you have 4 sources and they're all different as far as their automated valuation model. But the easy one is the tax record, because you want to know quite a few pieces of information on there. The first one is the AVM, but then you have to have a story behind it. Now, if you're saying, Brian, I don't want to do this, I just want an easy pill. Well, there's 2 groups of people who really succeed with for sale by owners. Those that are disciplined to get prepared, and those that are just really in a hurry and get on the racetrack and then they try it for a weekend and they're out. But I'm trying to hand the baton to those people that will be committed and that say, I could do 10, I could do 15, I could do 25 for sale by owners in a certain period of time, listings. And so if you will take the tax record and look for the AVM, there's a story about how to interact with the seller on that, which we have a video for you. And then the addition, there is the history of the property where it says you can see like they bought it 6 months ago for $600, they're asking $800 now, or whatever it is, or they paid $800, they're asking $600. It's good to look at the history of the property. And then in addition, there is if the property, this is big, if the property's been quit claimed. Now, what's that mean to you? Well, it means somebody got divorced, probably. And so if you're dealing with one individual and you can see on the tax record that the property was quit claimed in the past year or so from one party to another party, they should also tell you something. This is a much more highly probable person to list their property if it's been quit claimed, because if they've been divorced, there might be a higher sense of urgency. Not in every case, but you're always trying to figure out, is this a really hot FSBO or an expired, somebody really motivated, or is it somebody that has to move or somebody that wants to move? Has to move, those are your best ones. Those are your high probability that you're going to get the listings if you focus on high probability. And the cool thing is you have to identify them. But sometimes it's easy to identify them because the tax record will say it was a quitclaim. So you're looking at the quitclaim portion, you're looking at the prior history. What did it sell for last? Did it sell for 600? They're asking 900 now. What's the AVM say? In addition, you're looking at the top of the tax record, and let's see if the mailing address is different than the property itself, because that would tell you this is possibly a rental or they inherited the property. So you can learn a lot from the tax record. Lastly, on the realist version of the tax record, oftentimes in many states there's something called the IMP percentage, which is the improved percentage. When you're looking at a house and the IMP percentage says, let's say 80%, that means generally 20% of the value is in the ground and 80% of the value is in the structure, in the driveway and the improvements. So if you see a property that is 62%, that means 38% of the improved value is in the ground, and if it says 62, that's for the structure. But again, we are storytellers. Everything on the tax record that you could share that you know something about will start a connection with them. By the way, will they be interested in this? You know why? It's all about them. But you're demonstrating knowledge just from this one document. Now you can also bring the public tax record. Look for things that you could talk about that they will find intriguing, that's about them and their lives, and make it a story. Create questions for things that you're presenting. Like if the AVM says 600 and they're asking 900, you say, you kind of wonder, somewhat rhetorical question, you kind of wonder what buyers think when they see this, because buyers are going to look at your tax record before they make an offer, things like that. So create a dialogue, create a platform. That's one of the few documents you'll take with you on that initial walkthrough to build rapport and get a second date. Oh, by the way, run with purpose, all right? Now, I hope you run to bornbravemindset.com/club25. It's got more stuff on there about how all the stuff is free. We'll even give you the documents to present to the seller when you're a loan officer or a realtor to win that relationship and build positive experience for them. So they ask you on a second date if you're an LO to get you a loan, if you're a realtor to help you get the listing. So I hope you have fun with this. Be blessed. I'm Brian Kelsey.